and welcome. It is time once again for the Black Table. And of course, this is why you are here, because we get to tell you everything about the world of men, no holds barred. My name is Mazino Appeal for a Friday evening, and I'm not alone as usual. I'm going to be introducing our guests, starting from the familiar to the not so familiar. We'll deal with that when we get there. First off, his opinions, once again, as usual, are his own. I always have to state that caveat because it can get you into trouble. Mr. Oluwafemi is in the house. You're welcome, Rich Uncle.
Not about. Not about.
Good to have you here. And today he decided to join us. Well, hey, he walks amongst us, but it's up until he gets to the gate of his house that he
what
can't
are you
enter.
talking about? You've started.
It's not you. It's the man here behind the bar, Mr. Olamide Jean-Luc, not Picard. You are welcome, man. Good to have you here.
Cheers. Always. Okay, let me shut up.
The show hasn't started yet. And of course, he loves to rub shoulders with celebrities, hence the reason why he came over today.
On the down low, I just don't like to shout.
Is the one and only Niger Butcher. I like to call him Elena himself, Mr. Kunle Shukumbi. You are welcome. Good to have you here again.
Thank
Put
you.
your shoulder down.
My shoulder is down with this guy.
So listen,
worry,
we have a
we have
very
this all
interesting
time.
show for you today, and we've got a very interesting topic to go with it as well. Our main topic, I will be telling you what it is already so that you can get ready for it as we approach the end of the show. Men marry for pleasure and women marry for prestige. Now, this topic is coming off of the little notes that was made on Your View only just this morning by our very own Nima here on TVC. So if you didn't catch that, we'll play you that video and then we'll talk about it. But before then, let's take a break, attend to a few other topics, and when we get back, it'll be on. Stay tuned.
You always take the bill on the first date, second date, and third date. Bro code.
Welcome back on the Black Table. And of course, let's get things started, gentlemen. Now, if you guys were on social media over the week, we had this very interesting impute. I think we even talked about it on the breakfast show this morning.
Yeah.
A couple of days ago. Deyemi, the actor, you guys know Deyemi Okolonwo, the bearded one. Which, by the way, I just realized
You don't
I'm
have
the
beard.
only
Don't
one
worry.
who's
Don't
not
go
bearded
there. Don't
among
go
us
there.
here.
Don't go there. You don't have
There's
beard.
a solution
Don't go
for
there.
you.
Which is,
Grow up.
I
let the record show that today the first stone was cast by Olamide. So
Oh
like,
yeah,
come for
more
him.
to come.
It's a
Fresh
Seconded, seconded.
Deyemi,
shot,
the
fresh
actor,
shot.
says this world is designed to kill men. Take a minute to think this through. We all had a conversation on WhatsApp about this, and there were very varying opinions.
This was
about it.
designed to kill men.
Yeah, just this morning we actually talked about this on our WhatsApp group, the Black Table WhatsApp group, which you have to earn to be on. Don't worry, we'll add you.
And if that was up to ever leak. People's
But
career
you know
would
the
die.
interesting thing about that group?
I actually
That
think there's
WhatsApp
an agenda
group
against
should
men nowadays.
It's not a group for
Whose
just
career
men.
would die?
Because we've got women on that group.
And I don't get career.
So there's
By
no
the
holds
way.
barred on that group. It's the Black Table WhatsApp group, and just as we try to be very expressive here, we're even more so
Easy like this.
expressive on that group. So it's real deep.
Thank God
So-
I'm saying. I'm saying.
On that group, we talked about this
The
this
things
morning.
where they fly for that group.
Thank God I'm
And
saying.
I said, is it just the world that is designed to kill men, or is it, well, the situations that we find ourselves? And often these situations will have, it's always about women, if you ask me. That was my submission. I bowed out of the conversation because I wanted to hear you guys talk plenty about it. But you had a very strong, was it you or Gang?
Me? Gang was very
Gang
opinionated
was very
about it.
opinionated regarding this. But who
Now,
was it that
what was
said?
his own stand?
Who was it? I'm going to read through some of our comments. But somebody said
Start from the
something.
bottom.
Huh?
Start from the bottom.
Started from the
Don't go, don't go.
Well, first off, what's your opinion on that submission
I think
by
that's
DM.
your job as a man ultimately. Like that, it's built into you subconsciously. You will ultimately die to give them life. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's what makes you a man because really it shouldn't be, but ultimately, that's just the way of men. That's the way of men. Like And you buy into it without even knowing.
Even when God created man, you know, the first thing he did was to give him tasks.
Which is very interesting.
You know,
This was Gang's submission. He said, look at the way the world is built. Even the animal world, whether you like it or not, it is always the male animals that actually, during the time of mating, they're the ones who go in. Well, while the lady animals in heat, the male animals are always butting heads together just to win.
you enjoyed saying that word.
Which one? they enjoy.
The Zeno that we know.
Let's focus.
Zeno, your game on is slap.
Let's focus.
Two separate shots and you don't get rebooted.
Oh my
This is because I'm drinking less today.
No,
He loves
no,
the
no,
heat.
So, guys,
no.
Okay, my bad.
he said, well, in the animal world, this is what obtains. And then if you put that in context with us as men, the fact is, we're always out there striving to always please women. And that is why the world is actually out to kill us. Whether you like it or
it's
not.
interesting, yeah. I've always had the opinion. People say it's a man's world, it's a man's world. I think that's a scam.
It's a woman's
It's
world.
actually a woman's
It is a
world.
woman's
I
world.
tell you, man, everything a man does, check it. Everything a man does,
To please a woman.
the reason behind it is a woman. There's a woman somewhere. The woman might be in existence, or the woman is just going to come into existence. Okay, so you start working and everything. What are you doing that for?
You want to get
get a
married.
wife, have a family, and all of that. Oh, you want to look good. Why? You want to be admired, right? You want to buy a car. Well, men love cars, but at the end of the day, it's also about their ego. And then ego for who, for what? You know.
Women.
So check it. Everything a man does, there is a woman behind somewhere, somehow. So really, is it a man's world or a woman's
It's a
world? I've
woman's
always
world.
had the opinion that, hey, look, let's not kid ourselves. It's not a man's world.
Which
Like it or
reminds me,
not.
there was also another post. If there is a handsome man, there's a handsome man, educated, he has money, but yet he's not married. What is the problem? Now, I'm asking that deliberately. You're
What's the
married.
problem?
You're married. Why would a man who
What about
is
him?
educated, who
Wait,
has
calm down, calm down.
I saw that.
Look.
I'm asking you.
Oh, nice.
It's you I'm asking.
Nice.
It's you.
But wait.
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking
Why
to
would you be talking to me?
Okay,
You're
but-
not talking
But
to
seriously
me.
though, a man that is educated, has money,
I have the answer to
Has
that.
a business.
business.
Why is he not married?
Why?
He's got too many options.
Ouch.
You
He's
think?
got too many options.
You
See,
think?
there are certain things that men we have, and that makes us hot property. And you see, when you have all these valuable things around you, you know your quality. You see multiple options. You would test multiple options, and at the end of it all, you try and get a full option, which might not be realistic.
But you wouldn't
Yeah.
know. You're married. He's married. Let's ask him.
Why are you putting me on?
Why are you? Sorry.
Lock,
Why
load.
are you
Fire.
okay? What's that? What was that you were about to say?
Lock,
Are you
load.
alright?
Why are you no
But
married?
no, truly, honestly, yeah.
No.
You should be in
See,
the
let,
better position to
let me
answer.
cut
Let
him.
him out.
He was onto something, right? He was onto
You
something
mean
when he
Olamide?
said yes. When he talked about, you have many options and all. Yes, you would have options, but it gets to a point. It's also it's personal, all right? So it gets to a point where you think, okay, do you want to continue in that light, or you really want to settle down?
Have you gotten there yet?
Of course, I'm there. What are you talking about?
How old are you again?
I'm 36. Don't worry. He's like 2 years older than me.
Oh,
so,
look at him. I've known
so
this
that's
guy
fine.
since I was what,
That-
20, 21? 21. How old were we?
Anyway, so the point is, it depends on the individual, right? But then, if you really want to get serious about this, it gets to a point where you have to put your foot down and decide. So you don't necessarily
I'm
have to
confused.
test.
Serious
Hold
about
on.
what?
You don't necessarily have to be testing, but you just have certain things you're looking at for. Okay, let me be very blunt and let me be quite
Yeah,
serious
please.
right
That's
now.
what this is about.
So, for me, I've seen a lot. I grew up around, well, right from my childhood, I've always had married men as
Siblings or friends or...
siblings, as
family.
friends, and all of that. So I saw a lot, I learned a lot. And from a tender age, I've come to realize that what can make a man or make or my man, break, make,
It is
whatever,
actually. It is.
is marriage. So
Yes.
you never want to get that wrong. Same thing for a woman.
So you're very deliberate about it. You're being
Yes,
careful.
you
Is the reason why you date people who are 20 years younger than you.
Hello. Who's dating someone 20 years younger? I don't understand. What? Oh, so is this an attack? Oh, Zeno, do you want us to go there? Do you want us to go there?
Mazino,
Right.
Take this as a sniper shot to the chest.
Right,
Like,
okay,
you don't have
so
to come back.
that's why
I'm
you
not
brought me
done
here.
yet. I'm
You
not
brought me
done yet.
deliberately.
I'm
Ah,
not done
putting
yet.
me on the hot
So,
seat.
Kule,
Right.
it came
Right.
to our knowledge that your brother only just, your older brother, by the way, he's older than Mikuli is. Your older brother only just got married like last month in
Keep laughing, keep laughing.
Zanzibar. You were there. So this is a family problem.
What did this guy drink?
No,
Oh yeah, he's actually
Fatality.
drinking. All right, that's cool. That's fine. Oh, you got me.
What's up with your family?
Zeno, I'm thinking of a comeback for you.
At this point,
No,
I
but,
don't
but,
just
but
press
anyway,
eject.
but
Just
anyway.
press eject. It's
No,
okay, like,
no.
Guys,
But
right now.
anyway, for me, really, for me, I'm just very particular about marriage.
But you know, the
Mar-
longer,
marriage-
the longer it takes, though, the harder it will get.
I get that.
Why?
I get
Why?
that.
Because the truth is,
I heard
even
that
though
a lot.
it's the fact.
Nah, but I don't think so.
I'll tell you why. Because as it is
Right.
now, you are no more thinking with your heart. Oh.
Yeah,
Really?
And that-
definitely.
yes, and that's what's
Yeah.
required to get married. You're not thinking with your heart anymore. You're thinking with your head.
logic. Exactly. It's a bit
Exactly.
too logical now.
Everything
It's
is
a bit too
logical.
In
deliberate.
all honesty,
It's mathematical.
it's more of like
right
a
now.
transaction now.
Yeah.
What do you give? What are you bringing on the table?
It's more of like a transaction.
No, I
You
disagree.
don't want. You don't want minors.
This man,
You
he's the
don't.
wisest one.
As you
See,
are like
I'm
this,
the
you don't
one,
want to
I'm
buy.
the one
You don't
wearing
want
the
minors.
shoes.
You don't want to carry a burden. That's one of the greatest problems.
Well,
You
that's
don't want
true.
to carry a burden.
Right.
And in all honesty, body, plenty. Married that body. As it is,
That's
like
why
this.
I'll take my time to know who I'm carrying the burden with.
No, but the longer it takes, the harder it gets.
Well,
And
well,
See,
honestly,
see,
what
it's
I
all it's all
believe-
in the mind, right? It's
not
all in the mind.
fully-
I get what you're saying. I've heard that.
I believe that you are actually a very modern person.
I am.
And you see, as a modern person, marriage is not the ultimate goal for men anymore. It is success,
no.
it's achievement. Wait.
actually agree with
You know, someone told me
Let-
something
let
today.
him,
The person said, I know, you guys know the person. The person said that if you had known there's a certain girl that you impregnated, that you would have kept the baby and not marry. But the truth is this, a lot of men who have all the things that they need, everything that makes them successful today, what they do is that they get a girl pregnant,
Have a
they
baby,
take care
mama.
of the baby, and they're fine. And it's not even a Nigerian thing. It's now a global,
global thing.
Because they're like, why am I getting attached when
so-
I have all of
so-
this?
Just to buttress,
So-
just to buttress
so
what
the
he's saying.
quest- the
No, let
question
me just
is,
ask,
am
before you
I
go
one
ahead.
of
This is not an attack
No,
on
no,
you.
No, I'm not
Just
saying.
to buttress what
Not
just to
everyone
buttress
thinks
what
that
he's
way.
saying. Tell me what it is that a marriage offers you now that you don't have.
Exactly.
Nothing.
I don't see.
Nothing.
See,
There's nothing. There's
Let me-
nothing a woman is bringing into your life now that you can't get by just being in a relationship.
oh, there is something.
Like-
see,
Mention one. Just one.
companionship.
You,
Bro,
can't get
according
it
to
now.
what he says.
No, companionship. Look,
define companionship.
what are you
So that I know where to get into
Come
from.
on, man.
No.
do you want to
Bro,
compare my
bro,
companionship with Zeno?
if you're dating a girl, no, but if you're dating a girl, you don't need to be married to her. She'll go home at night. You know,
but
understand?
you see-
you
you
have
see-
your companionship for the time
let me-
being.
let me
When
tell
you
you.
fall asleep, you will give her over money.
Now let me tell you this.
You don't have to wake up and they'll tell you go and bumping machine.
See, this is
The bumping machine can
this is
fall, you don't
why.
mind.
Look. I've been
It's
a lot of my
No, but
friends.
it's
A lot of
true
my
now.
friends. I hear you, and I don't. I hear you, like
know
I
what?
said,
No,
but I'm
but-
not going to agree with
At
everything.
this, no,
You know
exactly.
why?
At this
You
point,
know
it's
why?
crystal clear, but you don't want to admit it.
let's. You can come down from the witness stand now, please. this is too much.
Oh no,
trouble.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming for
sorry,
you.
Colin,
I
come
know
on, man.
now you
We're
cannot
men's.
escape.
We're men's,
Nah,
man.
no
Come
way,
on.
man. I'm
All right,
not going to
okay.
let that
Our
slide.
next quick fire topic here. Why do men feel the need to go through things alone? It was a, I think it was a Twitter post by Nuj Jain. Nuj Jain. Very weird name there. But I took a critical look at this, and I used myself as an example.
Who you want to tell? Let's start from there.
The truth is,
Who you want
when
to
I'm
tell?
going through stuff, I always want to simply just go through it alone. I don't even come and tell Olamide or
Who
call
you want
Shokunbi.
tell?
The last time I tried, well, I did call you, and he's going to give me rubbish advice.
Me.
You know,
This
but
guy.
why do men always want to go through things alone? And how does that affect the relationship dynamic? Whether you're
See,
married or whether you're with a partner
which is
who's
what
not
I
married to you.
was. I think it's in our nature. It's in our DNA. Again, if you go back to, well, I'm a Christian. I'm biblical. You know, I won't say I'm religious. But you're gonna sneeze and die. But anyway, so even when God created man again, you know, He gave him tasks and he was doing stuff on his own. Even God noticed that the man was lonely. So by nature, we're solutions providers. If you're a solutions provider, you have to put on your thinking cap, right? You have to be in that place where you have to be able to discern things, decipher things, break things down into pieces and then reassemble them to have a headway.
And this Sunday, you guys should please attend the Church of Iniquities. He's the pastor. Look at him sounding all very.
Why?
But
why?
I
I'm wearing black, but why are you painting me black?
I do agree with
Come
you,
on.
however. The
Come
truth is, he is actually quite correct. Men are just hardwired to just simply solve
My own is, who do
stuff.
you want to tell, Seth? Who do you want to cry to?
But then what, like I said, two questions. How does it affect the relationship dynamics when women don't understand that men are just hardwired?
No,
So they actually-
sorry,
And
okay.
how does that affect your mental
No,
state?
but the truth is, I think generally women understand these things. They just like to blab because, in all honesty, I've said it on this black table before. As a man, when women say things like, "Oh, you are not soft, you don't cry," just cry, just
Yeah, I
cry,
remember we talked about that.
just cry. You
Yeah.
will now see the reason why. Can you imagine he cries? Jesus, that's it. You go be trending topic.
Oh, wow.
Like, imagine being with a man that cries.
They
You,
put it
you know,
on,
you know, Mazino, you started by saying something earlier, and I just started thinking about it.
Which
I
one
had
was
to
that?
really, really think about
Which
it.
one?
That every time I had a challenge,
Yeah.
and I talked to a fellow man, they didn't offer me any solution.
They just-
man. They're like,
It's your
"Man
problem
up,
now.
no,
Well,
man
who,
up,
who,
man up."
who have you been hanging
the
around
room,
with,
man
man?
up."
I need to ask you that question because how much of a better influence on Zeno? You know, that's why Zeno's turned out to be
The
way he
rule
is.
is this, yeah.
He would have
If your
been a
guy
lot
brings a
wayward.
problem to you, drink beer with him and then tell him sorry. Man up.
That's all right, bro.
Guy, man up, man. Here, have another one.
Nah.
That's basically what men
Nah.
do. What are we doing here?
Why? Listen, I think the way you talk to a man, you know, the way you express yourself to a man.
It's not necessarily because you want a solution. It's
No.
an expression, isn't it?
I
You
don't
just wanna
think
get it
so.
off your
I don't
chest,
think
isn't it?
so. Seriously, you know, you and I, for real now. I
Okay.
mean, don't bring up all those
No, okay.
crappy conversations that
let's
you
keep that.
always bring up with me. But for real, when we talk, you know, you tell me stuff, and then we sort of find some amicable way of getting out of things.
Perhaps, yes.
Yeah, you would have. The thing is, you would have one or two people that you can relate with on that
Who
level.
absolutely understands
Exactly.
the situation.
Exactly. So,
But that's only after a long time of, like, you know, you bottling up so much.
yeah, I mean, that bottling up thing comes first. It comes naturally. It comes to you. It's innate. All right. But you have to let go. You have to get to the point where you have one or two people who are like your confidants that you speak to. That's the truth.
I agree with
Especially
you,
in these
actually.
days.
I agree with you, actually. Olamide, you
know.
have nothing to say on this.
No, I was just checking out the bromance going on there.
Oh, no.
So let me explain. Before the blogs carries that. I am Kule, actually. What's your matric number again? I'm 013. What are you?
I'm 018.
018. So that's how long we've known each other. I mean,
Okay.
so more than
okay,
half our
okay,
lives.
my turn. Since we are talking about how you know people, Mazino was the what were you saying? Timekeeper prefect or whatever.
Oh, that's true. I'm actually
From secondary school? Oh, my goodness. That's crazy.
Which is very funny because this guy sold me a suit when I was. So how long ago was that?
No, that's when
Remember that suit I sold?
you're still like glow then. No?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
The lining was twisted. God.
So,
So,
we've actually,
so basically, we know his secrets.
everybody
Okay.
knows.
yeah.
We
I
can
know
spill
his
them.
secrets.
Everybody knows me here.
Right,
But
right.
guess who knows his biggest secrets?
Who's that?
Gang, because gang says his sin is.
And then knows gang is
Oh,
not here.
no, really?
Moving on. Moving on. Our next quick fire topic here is coming all the way from Zimbabwe, and it is a former Zimbabwe minister, and the name is even very, very interesting. Nyasha Chikwinya.
Nyasha.
Yeah, Nyasha Chikwinya. has called for the legalization of sex work in the country. It says legalizing prostitution could be the secret weapon to save marriages. It's a former minister, by the way. I don't get it. How does that save marriages? Is there something I'm not seeing here? Does anybody espouse to what he's saying?
Okay, so
You know, you would understand better.
Do I know any prostitute? I don't.
okay.
You
so,
would know better.
Let me play the devil's advocate. Yeah. So I think there are lots of marriages that there's a lot of sexual frustration.
Okay.
A lot of men and women can't really express themselves.
So going outside to get
So-
that expression or to give to satisfy that expression
Dude,
saves your marriage.
let me tell you something, and I'm going to say it on TV.
Okay.
Might get me into trouble, but I'll just say it.
Zoom.
So recently,
Zoom.
I met
Ah,
this
make sure I'm
lady.
not in the shots.
Oh,
Make sure I'm
this
not
lady, and
in
we've
the
been
shots.
talking and all of that.
Okay.
We've been talking or
no,
did
we've
I
been
hear?
talking. No, we've been
Oh,
talking.
right.
Mazino was there when I met her.
Oh,
Anyways.
Frame the shot.
Anyways, we've been talking and all of that. So
Frame
I
the
saw
shot
that.
properly. I cannot
Right.
leave that
Mazino
shot.
was there. We've got a witness. We've got a witness.
The conversation
I don't
was
know what
getting a
he's
bit
talking about.
steamy. So I was like,
You
okay,
don't
no.
know?
The conversation will get steamy.
A bit steamy. So a bit.
Mazino was there.
No,
We
no,
have-
Mazino was not in that part.
Alright.
You know,
No,
later that
it's
phase.
not that part.
Anyways,
Okay,
yeah,
I get.
the conversation was getting a bit steamy. So I was like, man, this thing is getting out of hand. So you know what? At this point, save face. So I said, by the way, there's something I need to let you know. I am married. And the response was, congratulations, I am married with 2 kids.
Can we go to the next quick
I don't
fire?
Can
remember
you
this
guys
woman.
have
So,
steamy?
My
I don't
Can
remember
you
this
guys
woman.
have steamy
going
conversation?
back to what the former minister
Yeah.
is saying about prostitution and all that. There are a lot of marriages whereby there's a lot of sexual frustration. And I'm not talking about just men, I'm talking about women too. There are many married women out there who want certain things,
That they're not getting,
but they're not
at
getting
home.
it.
For the first time on this black table, allow me to dive inside petrol.
Lift
Carry
himself
Cuban
up.
cigar.
I can't like that.
Light down.
With his
We shall
accomplice.
see. No,
With his accomplice.
We shall see.
I'm not going down alone.
Like, he
No,
can't
but-
struggle with the lighter.
But seriously, see, I personally think, okay, I'm not married, I know. Of course, I have parents. I see them sometimes when they have squabbles and all.
Yeah.
I have friends who are married and all. I understand the thing about, look, marriage can be a straight line. It can't always be rosy, easy
Bed of
peasy,
roses,
yeah, every
all that.
time. Like, okay, and then you can't always have great sex every time. But I think, you know, that's where the fundamentals come to play. That's
Which
when the
is, what
values.
are
What are the fundamentals? Because me, I
Okay,
don't know.
no. So,
Exactly.
what got you guys together in the first place?
Attraction.
Yes,
The
but
need for
But
companionship.
that fades after a couple
what?
of years.
yeah,
It
I
fades.
know. So
Yeah.
that's my point. I think it always boils down to the fundamentals of coming together and saying you want to have a lifelong relationship together. I don't expect you to have the best. But if you guys are married, you should always have a point where you compromise. I know it's not
Kunle, let's
I
have
know it's
this
not
conversation in 5
straightforward.
years when you're married.
I know. See,
Maybe 10.
But why is it?
10 years, yeah.
you know
10 years,
why?
yeah.
That's
You
42.
know why? I keep
That means like
I keep
46.
Him? No, it's,
what are you guys
he's already
talking about?
crossed. He's already in the
There's
fourth
another
floor.
conversation under this
um,
conversation, but it's okay.
I can
It's
say my
an
age
auto.
openly. I'm 36.
So they said you'll be married in 10 years. That's 46.
I'm not going to be married in 10 years. Who's saying that?
I said 5 years.
What he meant
That
was
makes it
when
funny.
I'm married, then I should come back after
5
married
years.
in
But
5
I
years'
think
time.
at the end of the day, me, I've always said it, monogamy, at the end of the day, I feel like everybody will still circle back to the fact that, okay, that monogamy is where the problem always stems from. Always. Because you find situations where you're like, what's going on here? What's going on here? At the core of man and woman relationship is always the, okay, you know what? I love you. Okay, why is he looking at that girl? Why is she looking at that guy? Monogamy is still where all the problem stems from. It has never worked. It will never work. But everybody still passes.
No, you're
that road.
generalizing.
No. So let me
You're
let
generalizing.
me
I
say
don't
this
believe
now.
that.
Let's listen to Olamide here.
And since I've got petrol all over me, I can
Don't worry, you're lit. You're lit.
earlier today,
keep burning
myself.
some more.
Okay, I'm not
Wallah,
going
you
to
call my name again.
You are accomplice.
We're
Usual
talking
suspect.
about marriage, yeah,
Right.
and how it evolves over time, and how sometimes we love our partners so much, and sometimes we just want to strangle them because they find different methods, different ways of complicating things. I think men, we are very simple, we're very straightforward, and we gave some instances, and those instances were very hilarious, were funny, because by the time we all talked about it, we're all sharing the same problem.
We're all married to the same person.
Yes, we're all sharing the same problem.
Basically.
And as much as we love our wives, it's a fundamental problem amongst marriages in today's world.
I would call it a problem.
I would call it a
I'll
problem
just call
because
it
it needs solving.
nuance of marriage. It is what he goes through it, I go through it. It's just there.
It's just standard.
So
standard.
the
And
thing
it
is
comes
this.
with a package.
So my point is that there are certain things that are just unrealistic, and there are certain things that women need to start considering and looking at those options and say, okay, you know what, this guy is good. I'm not going to kill him with all sorts of issues, all sorts of wahala, all sorts of throwing tantrums, jealousy. Now I mentioned now, sometimes men get accused of things that they've not done.
They've not even thought of.
And it's just because
never
a
even passed
woman
your mind.
somewhere just feels like, why is he smelling nice? Why is he wearing black clothes with the white patches and glasses? Why is his hair well
Why is he
combed?
looking-
Why is he crossing his leg?
A woman might like this the way
Somewhere,
it
this
looks.
look.
I don't like that. The
Exactly
women
my
This
like
your
point.
look is
And
very
then you have to
attractive.
It's very
defend.
attractive, exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
You
well,
know, it's a crazy one, to be honest, because as I'm speaking to you, which is why I said, you guys think, I'm privy to
No,
all
but
this.
you can't have woman
No,
problem.
no, I
If you
can't.
have woman problem when you're single,
No.
don't marry you.
I don't.
No, make I just tell you
No.
now.
I'm just trying to
No,
tell you
make I
guys.
just tell you now.
No,
because-
I'm just trying to tell you guys. That, look, I'm not married, but I've seen a lot. As I'm talking to you, there's a friend of mine who just called me earlier tonight. I was talking to me about his wife. So he married a young lady, and then, he's about Zeno's age, So just got married recently. So the thing is, he opened up everything to the woman, to the lady. She's pretty much young. Gave him his phone.
Why?
Gave him his phone, just to make sure that I have nothing to.
see what he did? He just unzipped, put
No,
his
no,
member
no.
on the table,
Like-
gave her a hammer.
Like I have
protection.
nothing to
I said, be
hide.
gentle.
Take my phone, check it, and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
But the lady went far, kept digging until
Yeah.
she found stuff. And then the guy said, okay, you know what? If that's what you're going to be doing, I'm going to put you off my phone. So he passworded the phone.
That's
and
where it
all of
starts
that.
from.
Yeah. And somehow he just told me today that, the lady found a way to clone his phone.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
And I'm like, hey.
Didn't somebody say that again?
Oh,
this afternoon? Somebody said that.
We all have the
Hey,
same.
why go
It's the
through
same
that
ones.
length? Ladies, women, married or single, let me just tell you something. If you want problem,
Find it.
you will find it.
Find it.
That's just the truth. If a man wants to settle down with you, take it that the man has given it a
He
serious
has
thought.
options and he chose you.
Yeah, and he chose you. Just
It's really
stick
just
to
that
that
simple.
and make the best of it.
You know, it's funny
The
how
minute-
something he said, yeah.
The minute you keep digging and digging, you will find. You will always
Which is
find.
very interesting. Now, what you just said is where normally it always starts from. When you give full access to.
No, but why would you even
What?
do that?
No, hang on a second.
No, he did that because he had
I'm
nothing
coming,
to
I'm coming.
hide.
You
thought
give
he had
full
nothing to
access.
hide.
No,
I'm not-
really, but
I'm
I
not
think
talking
that,
about
that's
phone.
So the moment you have nothing
No,
to hide
Femi,
as a man,
I'm
you
not
become
talking about the phone.
unattractive to the woman.
Oh,
Femi, that-
we
I-
went
I saw
there.
something like that. I
No,
saw
you
something like that on
didn't.
Instagram
I went
today.
there.
Never make that
Do you know what's
mistake.
funny? Hold on,
Woman
Zeno,
must
Zeno,
not
hold
see
on.
you finish.
I saw something like that on Instagram today. So it was a
Woman
skit.
must not
It was
see
a skit.
finish.
So the guy, the lady asked the guy for his phone. And was like, you're boring. You've not chatted with any lady. I'm not fighting over you with any lady. Blah blah blah
Any
blah.
drama.
And then
Wait,
he
wait,
got
wait,
the guy to
wait,
open his
wait.
phone.
Let me take you
Look at
guys
this lady
back
with
to-
big hands.
Let me take you guys to
Like her. Say
When-
something.
when I was
Is she better than me?
scrawny
The guy said
looking-
no. What? Oh yes.
Kunle,
Oh,
let
she's
me
I
take
said,
you
like-
back to this. When I was scrawny looking, I was in uni. I was in Unilag. There was this girl that for 2 years, in my first 2 years, I was always trying to like get her attention and all that, and she knew just they look my side
Normally.
because I was a good boy. But the
When you
moment
now
she started
came in-
seeing me
when
with
you came into your
This
own,
good
with some
boy, bad boy
baddies,
thing.
I swear.
This good
I
boy, bad boy.
swear.
Oh, actually,
the way,
well,
the way,
there's
the
an
way,
explanation for that.
the way
Go
she
on.
came after me, even me, I was
wait,
shocked.
yeah,
Like,
wait,
what's going on? Because she wasn't attracted to the plain guy. She was attracted to,
plain guy is
and I
boring
think
now.
I
Is he
think
the most
women.
Most times they are not.
I might be wrong, boo.
Most times they are
But
not.
I'm just
women-
going to say this.
women-
I think
women tend to
women
look
are
for the
attracted
plain
to
guys.
things they
Wasn't
can't
it
usually
pass?
have.
Yeah,
Wasn't it
do they
DMX
even
that
look for
sang
plain
that
guys?
asked-
They don't look for plain guys. I'm sorry.
Wasn't it DMX that asked why do good girls like
Bad guys.
Why
Why
do
do
good
good
girls like bad
girls
guys? Yeah.
like
Because
bad
bad boys
guys?
are interesting now.
All right,
It's
so
just
guys,
what
well,
it is.
let's take a break so that we can replenish your glass. In your glass, I see that it's empty, and then perhaps maybe we can get to
Ah,
our main topic.
gross.
We actually had other topics that I wanted to talk about, but this kind of like just evolved into very deep conversation regarding women, men, and access to our what do you call it, real lives.
Yeah.
There was something he said I really wanted to touch on real quick before we go on that break. When a man gives you all that access, he's saying to you that I trust you and I trust that you trust me back.
That's it.
When you
Simple.
pick it at whatever it is you find, he now starts to restrict you. The more you pick it, the more he restricts, and then before you know it, it's a gate and it's shut.
Exactly.
Vicious circle.
And it's
Like-
And
it's
issues
a circle.
start.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
issues
Very
start.
true.
So
Very
you don't want to do that, ladies. Just take it from me. So let's do that break right now. I'm sure we're gonna come back to this because your messages are gonna come in real soon, and we'll read it, and then we'll get reaction for your messages as well. Let's take a break. We'll be back on the Black Table after this. And you're welcome back. It's still the Black Table here for a Friday evening, and it's time to talk about our main topic. Now, we talked about this from the beginning when we asked, and of course, perhaps maybe you already saw the video. On Your View this morning, Nima made a very interesting and cute on the show where she said, hey, men marry for pleasure and women marry for prestige. There's a lot of ways you can look at this, and I think there's a lot of applications we can apply this to with certain instances that have been happening since last week. Whether it's the Israel issue, if you remember, Israel had that issue
Yeah.
with his wife,
Yeah.
or any other one that you might pick. Just take a pick. There's so many of them. But is it true? Do we marry for pleasure? Now, that was a lady's opinion. Gentlemen, do we marry for... Let me come to this side. Do we marry for pleasure, or is that what you want to marry for? And do women actually marry for prestige? And what is this prestige? Is getting married like a trophy?
It is.
Is that what it is for
In
women?
Africa, in Nigeria, it is. Globally, it is. Let's not be lying to ourselves. Let's say it as it is.
Yeah.
First of all, that woman, she has the wisdom of 700 men. That woman. Because honestly, let's not lie. Let's just say it exactly as it is. Men don't look at anything when they want to marry a woman. Your money doesn't matter. There's nothing that, except you are dealing with a modern man, that everything kaku. The regular guy. Okay, I want to marry the girl. Fine. It's not his business if her father is rich or her father is not rich. If she's rich, all well and good. But that's not the first thing he's checking for. And I've told a couple of my friends that are girls that are of marriageable age and not married that your greatest problem is thinking that your money is a plus for the guy that is looking at you. It's not. It's not. Because he knows that first of all, I don't even have access to it. So it's
My money is our money. Your
Your
money is
your
your
money.
money.
He
You have no
knows.
access to it.
He knows, so it's not a plus. Men marry for pleasure. Like, okay, you know what? I don't reach that age, which you never reach, by the way. Since everybody they shoot, you make her just shoot. Like, okay, I don't reach that age. Let me
Femi,
marry.
I'll let you finish that, but I don't want you to totally exhaust it. I want everybody to see the video from this morning on Your View with Nima and her submission, and then we'll come back and expound more on that one. So let's take that excerpt, shall we?
Men marry for pleasure. When a man is broke, he wants a woman. When a man is rich, he goes for a woman accessory. When a man wants to marry, he wants a woman that would stay there. So you can go to the lowest of the low and pick one for control. It's me who, you know now, the one that you call daddy, why you dare not call them anything else. You know, you put them in their place. They call you yes sir, yes
Lord,
ma'am.
Lord.
But there are also men who marry women they respect. But why do women marry men? Women marry men they want to look up to, someone who they want to. It's not necessarily about money. Most women in our generation then, we were taught is that if you marry somebody you now build together,
Together, yeah.
then you deserve what you get. But women have now found out that they are built with man. The man will now go and marry somebody that did not deserve to reward. So women are no longer doing it now.
So that's also an indictment on us as well. Because
So-
apparently,
Okay,
according, to what she's saying, is like when
Yeah.
women build with us, men eventually kind of like, nah,
Which is why I'm
Let
going
me-
to say this, and it's going to get me into trouble. But
Again.
I'm always getting into trouble. Men, out of 10 men out there, about 7 got married for the wrong reasons. They're married to the wrong women. They're married to they're married to problems. They're married to challenges because they got married to the wrong reasons. No, they got married for the wrong reasons. There's several men out there that if you actually, ask them, like, okay,
why did you get
why
married?
did you get married? You hear all sorts of funny reasons. Some would say
It goes,
what
it
Kule
goes,
said earlier
it
about
goes both
companionship.
ways.
Companionship.
Can I test
don't think
that?
companionship
Can
is
I
a good
test
reason.
that?
Yeah.
Why did you get married?
You want to ask me?
I'm testing it.
I'm already on fire. And you want to ask me why I got married?
Why did you get married?
On that one, I think I'm the luckiest human being alive. If I'm not lucky, I think that's the only love God
Femi,
gave me.
why did you get married?
Because why did I get married? Like I said, as a man, you get to a point in your life, you're like, okay, waiting remain.
Wait, Mazuna, I did say earlier when we had that
Waiting remain,
conversation.
Like, okay,
I did
what's
say I will
the-
marry the same woman over and over again.
Because, like we
next step?
said,
Let's clear that
everything
one.
you do in life, there is. It's
So when
a
you
woman
said it,
is
everything
behind
a
it.
man does in life
Yes.
is just to elevate his status
To a larger
with women,
extent.
not even woman, with women. Like, because as a man, you know that the more money I have, the more desirable I am.
Yeah.
The more appealing I look, the more
Yeah.
desirable I am. So at the bottom line of everything you do as a man, all your accomplishment, is just so that you can pick up around and a woman will be like,
And that is why I agree
That's
that
just the honest
many
truth.
men
That's
out
just
there
the honest truth.
marry for pleasure.
From what you're saying, then it's like as if when you've accomplished everything, then you simply just pick a woman like just another accomplishment. Is
well,
that what it is?
and also, in all honesty, I always say that the woman you marry either completes
a
everything
reflection of
or
where you are.
destroys everything.
Yeah.
Because she's a reflection of who you are.
Yeah.
Like,
Fact.
you can't tell me that this guy is so great, he's done all of this, then he can't go marry Ron's gay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
How they
we
take
all of
meat?
us done.
How they take meat?
Professor, would you solve the equilibrium theory?
See,
You now,
You know,
how?
enter
you know,
sleep.
but you know what's funny? This
What are
life,
you looking for in your future partner?
I've said it. Maybe companionship is on the surface, but for me, it's just about
Is it completion? Are you looking for completion?
not completion.
I'm using his definition now.
Not. I don't know if completion is a word, and I don't know if companionship is a word. But there's this thing about you just know you need someone. You need that kind of support. You need someone who you have your homies, right? Mm-hmm. But then there are certain things your
You need a
homies can't
softer
do.
homie. No, yeah, that's what.
Yeah, but in a way,
Emotional,
yes,
you
true,
need you need
true,
a softer
true,
homie, somebody you can always
true.
like, you know.
See, let me come at it from this angle. You see, I think it's the testosterone thing. Men, like we said, are naturally wired to provide cover, but cover for who or what?
Yeah.
For the female gender, right? But in covering for the female gender, you have to find the one that matches you at certain
The
level.
one that gives you rest of mind.
Rest of mind, that's the bottom line. You see, you get rest of mind if in brands, in marketing, there's something we call DNA match. If there's a DNA match,
Yeah.
right? I don't want to use it, but let me just use it for the sake of analogy. That's why you have this thing about astrology, this zodiac sign
Zodiac
thing.
signs,
This
yeah.
sign pairs with this sign and all of
Yeah.
that. So which is why I said it boils down to the fundamentals. From the topic, when we say men marry for pleasure, just like he said, when you look at when a man sees a woman, the first thing that comes to his mind is not what the woman has. It's
Yeah.
about the outlook of the woman first. But if you flip it to the other gender, it's not always the outlook. I like what the lady said. She said a woman
Wants to
looks,
build with you.
No, not the build.
Wants to marry a person
Looks up to
Respect.
wants a man that she looks up to.
Yeah.
right from the days of the cavemen, women have always been attracted to men
Protectors.
who can give that cover.
Providers,
So
yeah.
whether you're a powerful person, or if you look at it in the context of today, whether you have money, you
Well-to-do.
have influence,
Influence,
you're connected or something, right? So naturally, I think that's the way it is. Even in the animal kingdom, you see that the female animals tend to go for the male animals that have certain qualities. So if you take the
Exactly.
lion, for instance, you look at the mane of the lion, it
Yeah.
has to be like a particular color, rich, brownish, dark thing that shows that, okay, this one is well fed, he can protect and all of that. You know, that's just the way it is.
Wow.
The only issue I have these days is that we've turned, for the female gender, they've turned that cover to one thing, just one thing, sadly.
No, we call
Money.
it poverty alleviation scheme.
Let me throw a wrench into your very, very well articulated explanation there. Does feminism play a role in the dynamics of this? Because when
Absolutely.
women are trying to, it would seem, match up to what men could do, whatever a man could do, a woman could do, does it affect that balance in any way where men are supposed to provide, but here women are actually being the ones who, well, take it or leave it, women are actually doing very good in society right now, and they're breaking ceilings that they never could from before. And now it would seem in most places, in most instances, that they are actually kind of like providers themselves. So how does that affect men and how they see these women? You know, let me-
I might be held for this statement I want to
well,
make
you're not
now.
married. You don't have anybody.
No. But I mean, I've come across people say stuff about this show on blogs and stuff. So I'm pretty
It
much
was his
careful.
fault. Press
So,
video.
but what I want to say, I think to a large extent, unfortunately, a lot of people think it's the fault of the men. I don't think it's the fault of
For-
the men. For this femininity
Yeah, what
balance
do
you're
we
talking
do?
about, I don't think it's the fault of the men, right? I think it's more about the women not realizing their roles. Men haven't really had, in my opinion, men haven't really had issues. Well, I haven't really had issues with women trying to break the ceiling, do things. I've always said it when I was in school. There is nothing like when we were in school, secondary school and all of that. There is nothing like first male
Of
or
course,
first female.
yeah.
First is first in class.
Exactly.
Second is
Whether
second in
female,
class,
whether
whether
male.
male or female.
Yeah.
So this whole thing about what's that popular word that ladies use these days? This female gender.
Gender equality?
No, gender equality is fine. Feminism, thank you. I think that word, that feminism, however you want to contextualize it, I think it's a scam, really. For me, feminism, yeah.
So the
I-
way
I
I say
don't
it,
think-
the way I
if
say
you-
it, I
if
feel
you
when you
say-
say
if you
feminism,
say
it's about
gender-
women supporting women doing amazing things. And I think a lot of people are
So,
See, let's
So that
call
place,
it.
that
Sorry,
place,
please,
that
let me
place.
just land. Let me just land. So I can make my point.
women
Sorry.
supporting women, women supporting women.
This is very
Never-
Perfect.
No, it's actually never a good thing. Yeah.
Oh?
No, it's never a good thing. Yes. So
Do we have time?
the reason why
I'm gonna be hungry then.
So
you
the
know?
reason why I said this was because day before yesterday, I have a very good friend of mine. She's married. She was married, and we fell out because I feel like, okay, these things that you're doing are not making sense. Yeah. She also has another very good friend of ours. They're like this. 2 or 3 days ago, that one reached out to me. She wanted to buy something, and then she was talking. I was like, "Oh, how's your friend?" She's like, "Oh, we don't talk anymore." I'm like, "Why?" And then she listed exactly the same things I had said when we fell out a year ago, and I was like, "But you know all these things." You're like, "Yeah, but you know women supporting women." I'm like, "Are you saying women supporting women even when they are doing rubbish?" She didn't respond. So I go to and I ask my wife that, why do women like lying to each other? She's like, no, women don't like to lie to each other. They just don't like to tell each other the truth like that. I'm like, my boys
Equals
will
the
never,
same thing.
my boys will never do that to me.
At
You didn't
all.
say, bro,
Now, let me
it's
land with the whole feminism thing before anyone takes me out of context. See, if you talk to me about equal rights, I'm totally in. talk to me about equal rights for everybody, for the male, for the female. That's it. Whether femininity or whatever, that's what it boils down to. You see, this whole femininity thing, I think there's some kind of hidden agenda somewhere, somehow, that people are not beginning to see. I have a company. I have
round that
people
up
who
real
work.
quick?
Yeah, I have people who work there, male, female. It's based on performance. It's just like when
you.
you're at work.
Thank you.
If you're good at what you do, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what
you're
gender
good,
you
you're
are.
good. It doesn't matter what gender. But this whole
I have so many questions.
hullabaloo
which I
about
always ask.
femininity, this,
You
femininity.
see this
I
whole
don't know.
femininity,
For me,
all of that.
it's a
My
thin
prayer
line somewhere.
is that for all the women that are doing boss lady, may you find a proper man. May God bless you with a proper man so that you could drop all this on your shoulder. And for the men that are getting all this, I pray that you find a woman that is a woman, a proper woman. Because all these things that I read on the internet, I'm always like, these people, they're well like this. Like, it's always amazing to me how I'm like, oh, I don't need no man. Okay.
Listen, guys, this topic started from our excerpt from Your View this morning, and you see where it's going. It's actually very wide, and I
We don't
fear
know.
that we will never actually finish it if we really delve deep.
I have the answer to all
But
these questions.
Please, let's say it.
no, hang on a second.
But you have to buy my book.
Listen, we've got plenty of messages as well, and I'm sure we're gonna come back to it again. Let's take a very short break, and when we come back, didn't you were supposed to come with something earlier?
You've got amnesia.
He was supposed to come with something.
Of course
so let's
I
take
did
a very
come with
short
something.
break, and when we
I
get
have
back,
them. I'm not sharing.
We'll be taking your messages
I've
and
been drinking, nothing
concluding
to
the
go
show
along.
then. We'll be back. Sure, we have messages here asking where is gang. They miss gang, they hate you. But
They hate me?
I'm joking. Listen, Kule actually came with some. He came bearing gifts today. That's his thing.
Pass them, no the other.
Well,
Calm
you
down.
already.
You know, the
Bro.
funny thing is that we don't have anyone for Kole here. So,
but you'll be
yeah.
fine.
But it's his own
sorry.
product, so
Really?
he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
Really?
Thank you.
Thank you
And
very
I'm meant
much,
to be the
Kule.
guest on the show.
It's okay.
Now, just
at all, I'm bad.
you can have it. In any case, let me read the messages that came through.
Okay, man, so let me be
Outlook.com.
nice. There's still one more for me.
Now, no, you can keep no problem. I'll get to that.
Okay, I can keep both. Oh, thank you.
Now, she the key person.
Outlook.com, guys. Messages. Says, Mazino, DME is right. Think about it. Men. Opause. Wow. Get it? Men. Opause. Menopause. Menstruation. etc. Now we go
Who be the
kill
guy?
them instead, Sha.
See, let me tell you. What's that example?
This guy needs to be on the show.
No.
This guy.
See, sorry, what that guy does not realize
Oh
is
my
that as a man, he's already dead.
Wow.
He's already dead. You should forget
Okay.
it.
As Susan says, please, what is DME talking about? I agree, we suffer passionana. Should we change roles and you guys get pregnant and give birth and all?
After that,
Should
what
we?
else? After that, what else? Because that's what you always hear. That, oh, men can give birth, men can breastfeed. After that, what else?
Again, it's always this thing about men wanting. I guess I can say that today. Men wanted to be women and women wanted to be men.
It looks,
Come on, a man is a man and a woman is a woman.
You were designed for
Just
a purpose, man.
take it
Play
like
your
that.
position.
Mazino, for generations, men were conditioned to compartmentalize their emotions. We have been trained to withhold these primary aspects of our life experience from others. A result of this is not only are men feeling disconnected from themselves, but also not having the skills to connect with others with any kind of depth. There's sense in what this person said.
But man, you are a man. You are not supposed to connect with depths. Play your role. Stop complaining. Man up. Your grandfather manned up. He
But
died.
then I want to ask you guys, you so-called married men, aren't you guys vulnerable to your wives?
So hold on. Let me just ask you a very simple question now. If you went to Manzino's house, right, and it was Christmas Day, and say Manzino bought a ram, but when you walked in, it was Manzino's wife that was slaughtering the ram. Would you look at him the same?
Or she was the one fixing the car.
Would you look at him the same?
Okay.
It's a yes or no question.
Listen,
It's a yes or
I've
no
learned-
question.
I've learned.
You don't
Look
don't
at
be
it the
philosophical.
Answer
Wait,
first.
Yes or no.
If it's the same Mazino that I know,
Oh, here we go.
no, if it's the same Mazino that I know,
Jesus.
I'll look at him the same. Because I know him.
Are you saying
That's
he's
not a
useless?
compliment at all.
Because are you saying he's useless? Because that's what you're
No, That's not what I mean.
I'm
That's
sorry,
not what
I
I
did not
mean.
mean to open you like
No, that's not what I mean.
It's okay. It's okay.
You know what I said?
Oh,
You
this
know
guy
what?
is professional. As in, he just turned out every. No. You try.
It was a fluke. He
You
actually
try.
didn't think that through. It was a fluke.
Try.
In any
You
case,
know what?
moving
Just
on.
leave it there.
Benga here says, Mazino for general. Oh, I read Benga's one already. Adamilola says, Mazino, what is Okwe Oluwafemi talking about that monogamy never works? So he's telling us that how that he is stepping. No, hang on. Let me go back. So he is telling us how he is stepping out on his wife constantly. Now, wow.
Sheesh.
Does he need Maraji and
So-
1 million followers again to sit on his case?
Is this
Please,
is,
you
is,
think
is,
it's like yourself
is
up.
this a man?
Stop
Is
it.
it-
Witness
like
that.
no,
yourself
first of all,
up.
is this a man or a woman?
I
Let's
think it's a
start
woman,
there.
yes. It's a woman. Damilola, but it's a woman. I'm sure it's a woman.
So I like it when people go on like this. They always go very self-righteous, blah, 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 blah. But the truth is, I've lived long enough to know that a lot of times, the things people do behind the scenes, if you know them, you pass out. And I'm guessing, I can tell you for free, I'm guessing she's either married or newly married. Like people, we all have all these ideas where we feel like, I mean, growing up, you'd always think that, one man, one woman. Do you think that those people that were marrying back in those days, one man that had 3 wives, do you think it was stupid? Do you think the women were stupid?
Well,
They were
you know
not.
what?
To complement that, is that your personal opinion? Is that your
Yeah,
personal
that's
application?
exactly what I was going
Is
to
that
say.
your
That
personal
you,
application?
I
So,
still think you can't generalize.
Everything that you and I all see today
Mm-hmm.
points in that direction, but you rather look the other way.
No,
The
I disagree.
the greatest stories on social media is one married man sleeping with one girl. Yes or no?
Listen, guys, notice how all three of us are deep in conversation and somebody is behind us.
Baba just dey talk mix.
Delicious,
Makes
guys.
sense, right?
No,
This
but
is
in
delicious.
all honesty,
Awesome.
and then I think
Mm.
let me
Have
answer
it.
this person by saying that.
Have it
Let me
with
answer
the
this person
drink.
by saying that monogamy is not the only way. It's really very simple.
Monogamy is not the problem either,
It's not the only way.
but it's not the
The
problem.
problem is the fact that everybody believes that if it is not monogamy, something's wrong with you.
No, the problem is people marry for the wrong reasons.
I have to take a very last.
That's my
Thank
opinion.
you.
People
I
marry
well
for the
said,
wrong
Let's
Rami.
take the
reasons.
very
Thank you,
last
Kunle.
comment here. This is Dolamu says, Mazino, what is Okwe saying again? For God's sakes,
That woman.
which one is women supporting women doesn't work? These have
Ahmed,
been, there have
you're
been
gonna
cases
keep
of women
yourself in
supporting
trouble.
women to the death. Yes, maybe some don't work, but saying that it never works, come on now, nah. He
No,
says,
no.
or she says.
Maybe she got that wrong. What I'm trying to say is that a lot of times women never tell themselves the truth. Men tell themselves the truth. Like if I see you sleeping up, I'll be like, bro,
Wake up.
Yeah,
But
he's
how
been
do you know
advising
that,
me
though? Are you a
lately.
woman?
no.
That's
Men
what's been
tell-
advising me lately,
a
and I
man-
thought he's not the
No,
right
but
person
a
to
man
advise.
will tell you when
it?
you are sleeping up, like, bro, forget story, you just sleep up. Women don't do that to each other. Everything is, you're right. He hurt your feelings. This thing that you're feeling is true.
Support you. Oh.
No.
That's
So,
what women
so
do.
it depends.
Real
though.
quick,
It
wrap
depends.
around
It
up
depends
and
on the
get-
level of relationship they have. I think there's some
That's
women
it.
who are
They never
very
tell themselves-
hardcore
Bro, they
and
never
straight to
tell-
the point.
I can tell you for
Hang on.
free. Like,
I
they
think
never tell
most
themselves the truth.
modern day women do
They
not
never
pretend.
tell themselves the truth.
They put it the way it is. They don't try to
never tell
dance
themselves the
around the
truth.
ice. No. Jokes apart. Like I think a lot of modern day women. That's why I'm using the term modern day women. Go straight to the point, and they put it across to their friends the way they say it.
But can they take it like men do? If you tell me things
No.
directly, can women
Like
take
we
it
they
directly?
have ourselves on the
Yes,
regular
but can
now,
women
like,
do that?
I
Is
don't
it-
think
are they-
women
is it
can.
built in
I
them
don't think
to-
women can take it.
And so the reason why I know they don't tell themselves the truth is because
Real quick.
men can disagree and still not.
Exactly.
Still be friends.
And
Yeah.
still
Women
be
don't
cool.
know how to do
And still
that.
be
Yeah.
cool.
Like
Yeah.
I can, Mazino, I know
Yeah.
believe this way, but
Listen,
it doesn't change anything. The women don't have that.
I really get. I
don't
need
have
to
that.
dive into my own Asu special, but Kunle, you get the honor of giving us just the tip today. So around about advice. I think mostly everything we've talked about today is that man-woman dynamic. So maybe if you can put it in a.
Please use some protection.
He's always jumping into my words.
Why do you always have to go there? I think I'll still come back to what I said earlier about, if a man, if you're in a relationship with a man and the man is into you and you're into the man, just keep it there. Don't force things beyond what it is. Like the instance I gave where someone was trying to pry into his husband's phone. Please, that's totally not necessary. He's giving you the access already, so why do you want to pry any further? Trust is built and trust is mutual. Keep it that way. That's it.
Oh, okay. The director was actually asking me to tell you to pull out, but you did.
Pull out.
You did
Jeez.
just.
Congratulations,
Just
you
in
didn't leave
time.
a drop.
I mean, you have to define everything. Jesus.
This table is truly black.
I want to say thank you very much, Kuli, for coming through, and thank you for bringing gifts as a special here. Naja Butcher's, well, hey, fantastic
Delicious
stuff. I'm
stuff,
gonna
man.
dive into mine eventually. Okay.
This is right in front of me. So
I wish I could save you when they come for you, maybe on social media, but I think you can handle
No,
yourself.
but the truth is, Nigerians
You can
just
handle
like
yourself.
to deceive themselves. People like to deceive themselves. Like 99.99% of the stories that make the round is man and woman.
It's all good. Olamide, do you have any? Your mouth is full, so there's no point.
Neymar is right. Men marry for pleasure, but marry
So
for the wrong reasons.
Well, there you have it.
Well, that's arguable, but
We're not starting the show all over again. We're ending it. We're ending it. Thank you very much for everybody who actually tuned in from 11 o'clock to join the show. We will be back again on Friday next week, and with very interesting topics, mostly representing your thoughts, men and ladies. Please just take what you hear, okay?
We love you.
We love you. Catch you guys next week. It's good night from us, or is it good morning? Bye-bye now.
Good morning.